Hello. Hello. Welcome in, everyone. Hello, Venerak. Good to see you. Hope everyone's having a nice Christmas. Do let me know if my audio levels are out of whack. I had to increase my gain substantially. I don't know what's going on with OBS. But, yeah, happy, merry Christmas, holidays, whatever have you. This was pretty impromptu, but I thought it was be a fun idea. We're doing a little reading of the book, The Polar Express. This book I've had, I'm gonna turn my camera on in a minute. I have the actual book and the bell, which is exciting. I got this as a gift from one of my aunts. Gosh, in 1997 is when the date, the little note in the book is written, which I've covered up with a post-it note because it's got PII on it. So, yeah, I've had this for, goodness, 27 years. That's pretty crazy. It's a very nice book. If you've seen the movie's good, but the book is nice, and the illustrations are pretty beautiful. So we're gonna share that. So let's hop on over to the main scene, shall we? Here we go. Hi. This is the book, The Polar Express, and I'm just gonna read through it. And we're gonna have a nice little time with it. I have a marker so I know where you're supposed to open it. Don't mind those covering my real full name. Let's just go. Oh, sorry for the reflection too. It's a bit glossy. Yeah, The Polar Express. Written and illustrated by Chris Van Allsburg. By Houghton Mifflin Company, Boston. Klonk had a hand in this. No, I'm kidding. And you can see. Ah, man. I need to adjust my light position. Sorry about the glare on these. But I think we'll get right into it. So cozy on up, get a drink, and just sort of enjoy the story. I'm going to turn the fire down a bit, actually. We'll have a little bit of crackling in the background. Clear my voice some. Alright. On Christmas Eve, many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I was listening for a sound a friend had told me I'd never hear. The ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. There's no Santa, my friend had insisted, but I knew he was wrong. Late that night, I did hear sounds, though. Not of ringing bells. From outside came the sounds of hissing steam and squeaking metal. I looked through my window and saw a train sitting perfectly still in front of my house. There she is. Thine Polar Express. I'm going to tilt the page a little. It was wrapped in an apron of steam. Snowflakes fell slightly around it. The conductor stood at the open door of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his vest and looked up at my window. I put on my slippers and robe. I tiptoed downstairs and out the door. All aboard, the conductor cried out. I ran up to him. Well, he said, are you coming? Where? I asked. Why, to the North Pole, of course, was his answer. This is the Polar Express. I took his outstretched hand, and he pulled me aboard. These pictures are just so nice. It's so well illustrated. The train was filled with other children, all in their pajamas and nightgowns. We sang Christmas We sang Christmas carols and ate candies with nougat centers as white as snow. We drank hot cocoa as thick and rich as melted chocolate bars. Outside, the lights of towns and villages flickered in the distance as the Polar Express raced northward. Man, I don't know how they made like an hour-and-a-half long movie out of this. Soon there were no more lights to be seen. We traveled through cold, dark forests where lean wolves roamed and white-tailed rabbits hid from our train as it thundered through the quiet wilderness. Gosh, this is like bringing me back. These photos, my parents reading this to me. I don't want to get too sentimental. Well, we can get sentimental. We climbed mountains so high it seemed as if we would scrape the moon, but the Polar Express never slowed down. Faster and faster we ran along, rolling over peaks and through valleys like a car on a roller coaster. Gosh, every picture is just so... The mountains turned into hills, the hills to snow-covered plains. We crossed a barren desert of ice, the great polar ice cap. Lights appeared in the distance. They looked like the lights of a strange ocean liner sailing on a frozen sea. There, said the conductor, is the North Pole. The North Pole was a huge city standing alone at the top of the world, filled with factories where every Christmas toy was made. At first we saw no elves. They are gathering at the center of the city, the conductor told us. That is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas. Who receives the first gift? We all asked. The conductor answered, he will choose one of you. One of you. There we go. Look, shouted one of the children, the elves. Outside we saw hundreds of elves. As our train drew closer to the center of the North Pole, we slowed to a crawl. So crowded were the streets with Santa's helpers. When the Polar Express could go no farther, we stopped and the conductor led us outside. Yo, there he is, the big man. We pressed through the crowd to the edge of a large open circle. In front of us stood Santa's sleigh. The reindeer were excited. They pranced and paced, ringing the silver sleigh bells that hung from their harnesses. I just peeked the mic. Sorry about that. I had to add the effect. Where was I? It was a magical sound like nothing had ever heard. Across the circle, the elves moved apart and Santa Claus appeared. The elves cheered wildly. He marched over to us, pointing to me and said, "Let's have this fellow here." He jumped into his sleigh. The conductor handed me up, sat on Santa's knee, and he asked, "Now, what would you like for Christmas?" Santa with the power fist here. If I could have any gift I could imagine, but the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled. Then he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from a reindeer's harness. The elf tossed it up to Santa. He stood holding the bell high above him and called out, "The first gift of Christmas." The clock struck midnight as the elves roared their approval. Santa handed the bell to me. I put it in my bathrobe pocket. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeers' names and cracked his whip. His team charged forward and climbed into the air. Santa circled once above us, then disappeared in the cold, dark polar sky. As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked to see the bell. I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I had lost the silver bell from Santa Claus's sleigh. "Let's hurry outside and look for it," one of the children said. But the train gave a sudden lurch and started moving. We were on our way home. Oh no. It broke my heart to lose the bell. When the train reached my house, I sadly left the other children. I stood at my doorway and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. "What?" I yelled out. He cupped his hands around his mouth. "Merry Christmas!" he shouted. Polar Express let out a loud blast from its whistle and sped away. On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I opened our presents. When it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found one last small box behind the tree. It had my name on it. Inside was the silver bell. There was a note. Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Signed, Mr. C. Excuse me. I shook the bell. It made the most beautiful sound my sister and I had ever heard. But, my mother said, "Oh, that's too bad." Ad break incoming? No, get out of here. The mother said, "Oh, that's too bad." "Yes," said my father, "it's broken." When I'd shaken the bell, my parents had not heard a sound. You guys can hear it. Thank you for the sub, Malcolm. Welcome in. Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a good one. I'm sorry you're feeling under the weather. Hope you are able to recover. At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell...
Merry Christmas, Bright 226 Groove.
I thought when you, like, hid the alert in OBS, I wouldn't play the audio. That's okay. Thank you again. Oh, you're very sick? Aw. I hope you get better. Hope you're having good fluids, some hot tea, good snacks, the sorts. Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me as it does for all who truly believe. Is there anything else written on the back? Okay. And that was the Polar Express. And I have the bell. That's what was ringing. So if you can still hear the bell, I'm sorry, speaking the mic, you are a believer in Santa. This book is great. It's fun, it's short, it's a good children's book. I was saying, for those who came in late, I was saying I've had this since, I got this as a gift from an aunt. In 1997, it's written on, where I have it covered in post-it notes because it has my name. Oh man. I know it's not New Year's, but I just kind of want to like talk for a moment. So my camera like... There's like a weird delay on that. Yeah, hope everyone is having a nice Christmas. Everyone's had a nice year. I think this has been a pretty good year so far. Well, there's only 6 days left, so yeah, it's been good. Started streaming, you know, in January. Took a break in August. I've been working. I've been sort of getting through it. I think the return in January, though, will happen on time. And with the guy in some manageably usable state, I think that'll be good. But I was going to keep this a little short today. I just wanted to say hi, check in, do a little reading. That'll be fun. But with that, I think we'll adjourn. Wishing you all the best of today, the best of the rest of the year, and I hope to see you in the new year, if not sooner. Thank you all so much. Take care. Love you. Goodbye.